right, couldn't resist. I found some new Elixir parfums over at Zara, and I did another small blind buy Zara fragrance haul. I've got 5 fragrances here in this box. They are new fragrances, and there's also an intense version of another fragrances. So we're going to talk about 5 different fragrances. I believe the majority of these are created by Jo Malone. And then there's one that I don't know the perfumer of, but it sounded really great. And it's a Gourmand with pistachios. And I can't wait to get my nose on it. So these are Zara fragrances coming right up. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Sebastian. I'm talking about Zara fragrances, blind buy today. 5 total fragrances. We have all Parfum concentration fragrances, but 3 of the fragrances I own in their original format. One of them is Ebony Wood. So we have an Ebony Wood Elixir Parfum. Then the other 2 are Energetically New York. I have it in the Eau de Parfum fragrance. I bought the whole entire collection, and this is how it was sent. And that's the original Energetically New York. And it came with a card back then. I like that little card in there. Collectible items, but sadly destroyed a bit. And then there's also a Elixir Parfum version of Fashionably London. And that's that right there. And there's the card. So 2 additional fragrances. The Waterlily Tea Dress I don't know about. And then there's a fragrance called Moonlight Whisper that is in the intense concentration, and it has to be it is a pistachio gourmand. So let's go ahead and open this box up and take out the fragrances. Let me know if you've gotten your nose on these. Please add a comment below in the comments section, and we can find out. And any of the videos I've done recently on Zara fragrances, have you bought them, enjoyed them, hated them? What are your thoughts on all of those fragrances? Here's Moonlight Whisper, intense. There's that price on the back. So I guess it's $39.90 in the USA. In the UK, it's $25.99. This is Waterlily Tea Dress. Same size. I'm sorry, not same size, but same price point. Whereas this is a 60 ml. This is 100 ml. So you get more juice for the same price point. Then we have, this is Energetically New York. It's a bit messy in there. But thankfully the packaging, this one is a bit kind of messed up, but that's Fashionably London. And then we should have Ebony Wood in here as well. Yeah, there it is. Again, I was not a fan of Ebony Wood, and Ebony Wood was coming up a lot often on the channel. During the pandemic, when I did my video on some of those Jo Malone created fragrances, sadly these are kind of falling apart. A lot of you mentioned the best one in the series is Ebony Wood, and I bought it afterwards, and I really didn't care for it. But we'll get to that when I'm actually talking about that fragrance. We're going to start off with Energetically New York, which is this one right here. That is the original, and here is the new version. Sadly, like I said, the ribbons are not staying on. So that's the new bottle. This is a Jo Malone created fragrance, I believe. It is a Parfum concentration, but it's Elixir. These are called the Elixirs in these bottles. They're smaller, 60 ml. Remember also what's the one with the leather? The leather one that kind of has a vintage vibe. That is in a 100 ml bottle. Similar design. What do you guys think of this bottle design? I think they're doing it quite often now. And I think they might be changing a lot of these Jo Malone created fragrances in these bottles. But also, I should let you guys know, I met Jo Malone recently in Dubai at an event I was at, and she seemed to be a very nice person. So it's nice to see that she's out there and still creating fragrances. She has her own brand, and I don't think she can sell that brand in the USA. I think she sells it in the UK, but I think ever since Estee Lauder bought her brand, I think she can't sell a brand with her name. I don't know the technicalities, but I'm assuming that she can do this with Zara. But let's talk about this one. Let's smell it. Energetically New York Elixir #1 in Parfum. It's 60 ml for $45.90. So these are quite pricey, but they are more concentrated, so I think that's a good thing. And the notes for this says cardamom and jasmine accords. So I don't know why this is giving me... It's giving me Santal 33 vibes a bit, but it smells nice for what it is, if that makes sense. The cardamom is really, really pronounced. It's really intense. And even though they're not mentioning woods, there's a lot of woods in here for sure. And I feel like woods, cardamom, and jasmine are mixed together to give you that sort of a Santal 33-like vibe. Is that what we got with the original Energetically New York? I have a video on the channel on this series. I bought like a entire kit of the whole series and went through the fragrances. If you want to go catch that video, you can. This is the original. I didn't wear much of this. I don't think it was my favorite. This bottle also doesn't spray as good, but the new bottle sprays quite nice. Yeah, sort of, but this is a lot fresher. But I think the reason I didn't wear this one is because it gave me the whole Santal 33 vibe. So that's a disappointment. But you know what? Compare the two together. I think the Parfum is much more intense and much more of the kind of fragrances that I like to wear. And I feel like if the original is not so quality, this version is quality. This version is really nice and robust and intense. Just you gotta like that whole Santal 33 vibe. If you don't, this is gonna be a turnoff for you. If you do, go check it out. For me, again, I think there's lots of woods, but according to the Zara website, they're only listing cardamom and jasmine accords. On skin, I think the jasmine will appear, but for me, it's mostly about the cardamom and sandalwood, perhaps, or some kind of woods that are basically running the show. Even though they're not mentioning the woods, it's very woody and spicy for me. So that's Energetically New York Elixir #1, I think. That is from the house of Zara. So that one for me is a bit of a disappointment. And let's do Fashionably London next, since I have those fragrances here from that kit. This fragrance is, once again, an Elixir. It's #4 Parfum, 60 ml for $45.90. This has notes of peony and red musk accords. So what do we got with this one? This is giving me, once again, a Delina-esque vibes, but there's something quite pungent and spicy in here that's taking over. It's almost like there's an overdose of cardamom in this, just like the cardamom in the previous, where the cardamom was giving me more of a Santal 33 vibe with the blend of notes that are in there. With this one, the peony is there, the muskiness is there. It's giving me Delina vibes, not identical. The Delina vibes I'm talking about are the Parfums de Marly Delina vibes. But there's a lot of spice in this, quite spicy, and for me, it has a slight soapiness, and I'm thinking it's cardamom. But it's quite fresh, but in a dense way, because, you know, the peony is a fresh floral note, but it seems concentrated, so sometimes people might not consider that very fresh, because it comes off thick and dense, and I'm considering that it's fresh because it's a fresh note. And the muskiness is quite there. It does smell a bit synthetic, but I like this one. I like that cardamom-like soapy spiciness in here. I don't know, I'm not so excited about these, even though I feel like these fragrances are much better than their originals. These are kind of, a bit disappointing. Although the Fashionably London is nicer as a fragrance, somebody looking for something Delina-esque, I think is going to like this one. They might prefer the freshness of the original. Let's try the original as well. So much more fresh, but still very, very musky. And the peony is quite bright. It does have woods in there, but fresh woods and light spices. The original is much fresher in comparison to the Elixir Parfum, and you can totally notice it, and I feel like they've done a good job with it. Once again, I think both of them they've done a great job with. They're just not my favorite smells or fragrances, but I think those of you that want something really potent and intense definitely should check these out. Yeah, I think they're getting to a place where these are really like, they don't smell cheap, because sometimes Zara fragrances can come off cheap. These Elixir Parfums are really super intense, where you have something more quality in comparison to the rest of the line. So I like that about these fragrances, but they're not my favorite scent profiles, is what I'm trying to tell you. So that is Fashionably London. Let's try Waterlily Tea Dress next. So I spent about $250 for all of these. So for five fragrances, you can get for around $250. I think, like I said, so far the quality has been great, but just not my favorite scent profiles. Let's see how Waterlily Tea Dress is. I don't know this one at all. I'm not too experienced with it. I think this is from the original Jo Malone collection, just like Ebony Wood is. This features notes of ginger lily, orange blossom, and then it, once again, just the two notes they're listing, but you're going to pick up other things in the fragrance as well, because it can't be just two notes. I think the Zara website team must have rushed through the fragrances to not list at least 3 notes. Wow. This smells great. I don't have anything to compare to. This to me, wow. Almost smells like a realistic flower I'm smelling off the tree, but a very spicy flower. Ginger lily. It's very green. It's very stemmy. And there's definitely a zing and a spice to it. But I personally have not smelled ginger lily, although I have, I think, come to think of it. It's more like a regular lily with a spicy edge to it. I think that's what a ginger lily is. This is really good. There's definitely a watery effect happening here as well. And I'm picking up like dewdrops or water and a lot of green stems. This is very fresh and very realistic smelling, and I like that about it, because it's almost feeling like when I'm smelling it off the strip, it's almost feeling like it's just been rained on. So you're picking up like this ozonic watery smell, along with the strength of the flower, its intensity, its floralness, its floral touches, its greenness, and its spiciness as well. Really, really wonderful. In the background also, a bit of humidness. Like I feel like it's a very humid climate, and it's just rained. It's created some coolness, but deep down, there's warmth. That's a really good one. I have nothing to compare to the original, but that's really great. That will be perfect in the summertime. I think if you want something strong with a great strength, I think Waterlily Tea Dress Elixir Parfum will be great. It's $45.90. It's not the cheapest, but with the way I'm smelling it, it's very, very powerful. Alright, I've been waiting to get my nose on this one. This seems to have gone more gourmand. This is Ebony Wood Elixir Parfum. Once again, 60 ml for $45.90. This is a powerful take on the original. As I said, I'm not really into the original. I don't care for it. Everybody said, oh, it's the best one in the collection. I thought it was boring. I didn't really like it. Let's see how this compares to the original. But the notes on the Zara website, mocha flower and cedar. That's the only notes they list here. What the heck is a mocha flower? So is it like a mocha latte and there's a floral note again? So something gourmand perhaps? We shall see. Let's try it. Let me know if you've gotten your nose on these ones. Are you a fan of Zara fragrances? Do you hate Zara fragrances? Zara is a bit difficult to keep track of. You know, fragrances come and go so fast. This is a strange fragrance. Not a favorite once again. It smells like grease and oil. What the heck? I'm going to put that on skin. That does not smell great on the strip. Why does it smell like grease and oil? The heck? Don't care for that whatsoever. Weird. I mean, I don't get anything gourmand. It doesn't come off like coffee or chocolate. It's not creamy. It smells like grease or oil. That is just a really strong, greasy, kind of like a car engine smell. Like a bit leathery as well. What the heck is this? So disappointed. I'm a bit underwhelmed with this collection, sadly. Let's try the original Ebony Wood. This is, again, not my favorite fragrance. The original is a lot lighter. That's all I could say. It's very woody, a bit creamy, but it doesn't do it for me too much. But this new edition, what the heck is this? I think it's developing into something, but I think this is going to turn off some people on the initial blast. What the heck? I mostly get like greasy car engine. Oil. Comes off oily. You guys a fan of this one? Ebony Wood Elixir Parfum? Let me know. Put a comment down. That's a complete dud. Once again, I'm not happy with Ebony Wood. Both versions suck. Weird. Let me know if you guys have experienced this. This is a strange fragrance. I don't get it. Wow. Okay, last but not least, Moonlight Whisper. This one seems like it's going to be a gourmand, of course. This one sounds delicious, so I'm hoping it is. No perfumer credited for this, but here it is, Moonlight Whisper Intense. Yeah, prices are a bit different. I don't know why. I thought I saw prices differently on these other elixirs, but they're not the same prices. So 100 ml for $39.90 for the Moonlight Whisper Intense, but the elixirs are $45.90 for 60 ml. So much difference in the price. More juice, and you get, less. It costs less. This is a feminine targeted release, and I believe the other ones are unisex. It's Parfum, it says, so it's quite concentrated, and this is a refillable bottle. But they never sell refills. Are the elixirs refills as well? No. The elixirs are not, but it is magnetic, which is nice. I think the bottles are really great for the elixirs. Let's see how this one sprays. This one's pretty good as well. Because sometimes there's bottles that you get from Zara, they don't spray well at all. Oh. Goodness gracious, that's delicious. So this is reminding me of... What is that makeup brand? There's a makeup brand that used to... They still sell fragrances, and they actually just redid their bottles. They had a fragrance called Crème de Pistache. Laura Mercier, I think that's the brand. This is that's what this is reminding me of. Wow. Caramelized pistachio, almond cream, violets, vanilla, sandalwood. That's super delicious. Really, really yummy. There was a time in the late 2000s that I used to stop at the Laura Mercier booth, or little section of Macy's, and spritz on that creme de pistache because I really loved the way it smelled. Super delicious. It got discontinued. That's what this is reminding me of. It's quite creamy and also milky, and of course very, very nutty. Extremely nutty. It's almost like chopped nuts mixed in with vanilla and caramel and almonds as well, and just cream, gooey, sticky, sugary, super cozy and delicious. This is definitely the best one I've sampled here. Sadly, this one's targeted to the ladies. It doesn't say for the ladies on it, but that's yum. Literally, that's yum. I'm disappointed with most of the Elixir parfums except for the Waterlily tea dress, especially Ebony Wood. That is the most disappointing. That just smells like car grease. What the hell were they thinking with this fragrance? I don't even want that on me anymore. It doesn't develop into anything. It doesn't have gourmand touches. It doesn't smell like coffee. It's almost like if you buy coffee sometimes, there's that oiliness on top. Maybe it's that oiliness turned into car grease with a little hint of coffee in there. But what the heck is this? It's so disappointing. And then the other two fragrances, they're not my favorite scent profiles. Fashionably London and Energetically New York. Anyway, those are my thoughts on these new Zara fragrances. Let me know your thoughts as well. Let me know if you want me to do any other videos. Is there anything else launching from the House of Zara? But honestly, guys, Moonlight Whisper Intense, super, super delicious. If you like gourmands, get a bottle now. I think it's totally worth it. 100 ml for $39.90. Definitely a really, really great, great price. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for watching today's video. If you have any questions or comments, list below. Please like this video. Please share it. Follow me on Instagram and Facebook, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Have a good one. Goodbye.